Oh, we're live. Okay, good. Hi, my name is Daniel Liu. I'm the broker for 5-Star Real Estate here in El Paso, Texas. And I want to talk to you folks out there that are getting ready to buy a home. Whether for the first time, second or third time, either way, it's a pretty big deal. And there's a lot of moving parts to the transactions. And so what I'm hoping that you take out of this video is 5 points or 5 things that I think are most important. If I was buying a home, these are 5 things that I would definitely want to address with my real estate agent. And with that being said, let's get started. So point number 1 is representation. In any real estate transaction, there's actually 2 parts of the transaction. There's the seller side and there's the buyer side. The listing agent or the seller's agent actually will represent the seller's best interest in that transaction. Well, equally so, there's a buyer, and the buyer also is allowed to have representation. They could have a real estate agent represent their best interest in the transaction. Now, I highly recommend that you buyers definitely have an agent working with you. Not because I'm an agent, I think it's the best thing and I want you to use me, but I really think that having representation in a very difficult transaction as buying a home is absolutely, absolutely essential, and you need it, okay? What typically happens in most cases is you walk into a model home where the builder has their agent or whatever, or you walk into an open house and you start disclosing this information to these agents that represent the seller. And what happens is you may disclose information that you don't necessarily have to disclose to them, like your credit scores or how much you can afford or whatever the case may be. It's very, very important that you, before you start the process of going out to look at homes, that you have a real estate agent that's looking after your best interest, that can advise you in the process and how it's done. It is a very lengthy process. There are a lot of moving parts, and you need a professional that can do that for you, okay? So the second point we want to talk about is getting pre-qualified. You need to talk to your lending institution, your bank, mortgage company, whatever, and you need to get pre-qualified. Pre-qualification basically takes about 5-10 minutes. It can usually be done over the phone or over the internet. And what it basically does is that you're giving the lender, the loan officer, information about yourself, your social security number, your salary for your work, all these different points. And from that, they help determine what you're actually pre-qualified for. They come up with a debt-to-income ratio. And at that point, they'll say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you're qualified up to $200,000. Well, even though you're qualified up to $200,000, you may not necessarily want to buy a $200,000 home. What I would recommend looking at is your monthly payment. What do you feel most comfortable paying every month with your taxes, your insurance, everything, okay? And that's what you really need to base your home search on, is what you feel comfortable making the monthly payment on every month. Now, there's a lot of great loans out there. If you're in the military, and getting the VA loan is absolutely awesome. If you want a low down payment, the 3.5% down on the FHA loan is excellent. Conventional loans, all that stuff is great. So there's a lot of different loans out there, so you really need to talk to a loan officer or a banker to really find out what's going to be a good fit for you. And your real estate agent should also be pretty informative on how to structure those deals. Especially with the VA, you need somebody that knows how to structure the VA loan, because there's a lot of moving parts to that could benefit the VA. And so with that being said, let's go to number 3. Number 3 is knowledge. Having a right, knowledgeable real estate agent, not only knowledgeable, but professional. This guy or this girl needs to be a professional, and don't settle for anything less, because there are a lot of real estate agents out there, a lot of really good real estate agents, and there's a lot of bad real estate agents out there. Does your agent know the market? Are they able to give you a good snapshot of what the market looks like, fair market value on houses and stuff like that? These are all important questions you need to ask. How long have they been selling real estate? Have they been doing real estate for 6 months, or have they been doing real estate for 16 years? Okay? So you need to find yourself a good, knowledgeable real estate agent that knows the market and is able to educate you in the process of buying a home. It's not just to know the market, but also the process it takes to actually buy a home with inspections and all that other good stuff. The fourth step is negotiations. Having a good, knowledgeable real estate agent that is able to negotiate the best deal for you is going to save you so much time and money and headache later on down the line. It's just going to make the world of difference for you. So there's a lot of things that actually can be negotiated in a contract, not only sales price, but also closing costs, home warranties, repairs. These are all things that having a good, resourceful, knowledgeable real estate agent that is good at negotiating will pay off for you in the long run and get you a really good deal on a home. The fifth step we're going to talk about is fees. How do I pay for this real estate agent? Well, if the real estate agent comes to you and says you owe me this amount of money, you need to fire them right away. Don't ever, ever give a real estate agent any upfront money for anything, okay? Typically, the closing fees or the realtor fees are paid at the closing table, and they're usually paid by the listing agent, or in which the listing agent gets it from the seller. And so the fee for the realtor or for the real estate agent on the buyer side, you don't have to pay anything up front. And you definitely probably end up not having to pay anything out of pocket because it's the seller's responsibility. And so the services to a buyer's agent to you are absolutely, well, free. They don't cost you anything. So why not use it if it's there and it's not going to cost you anything? That's my philosophy, at least. So with that being said, 5-Star Real Estate, like I said, I'm the broker for 5-Star Real Estate, and we encompass all 5 of these. When I train my agents, I make sure that my agents are professional in dealing with, and they're very knowledgeable, and they're experts at negotiating the best deal possible. I personally mentor all my agents to make sure that they are doing the things the right way. And so with that being said, you probably have a lot of questions. Feel free to call me. No obligation, over the phone. I'll meet you in person, whatever the case may be. Let's talk about the buying process. Answer any questions you may have. Make sure that you feel absolutely comfortable doing what you're doing. Don't ever, if you ever feel pressured or you ever feel just a weird feeling about moving forward, whether it be something your real estate agent said or something the seller said or whatever the case may be, you know, you got to pay special attention to stuff like that. And so having the right real estate agent will make the world of difference for you. So feel free to call me. I answer my phone. Thank you very much and have a great day.